mentioned about that pick and dance right here. We're going in for our second match pretty soon. But of course, before that, 4 of these bans from each side. So I gotta say, Evos Esports, now when they have the upper hand, they possibly will lock in something that's really essential to them. And you see them playing a whole lot of that sort of Esmeralda into this whole regular season. Do you feel like this is one of the picks that they want to secure?
Well, honestly, I think Evos is really flexible. They got a lot of options, and I think they play with what's on the table depending on what the picks and bans are and adjust accordingly, which is technically not wrong, but then it kind of puts this, especially when you're up against a team who's willing to go toe-to-toe, that's when you need the one little strategy or the one particular composition you play better than everything else.
Can I ask you guys a question that is not about the draft?
Okay.
It was about the game itself. I feel like if Evos plays it a bit more safe, especially early game, they got caught too many times. Do you think if they just play it under the tower, you know, safe, if don't commit to any fights, even if you have to lose 1 or 2 members, just focus on objectives, do you think that might help them?
It maybe might help them for a little bit, but you saw how Todak was also putting so much pressure towards the top side as well. So it was a little bit of both, where you can play a little bit safer, but you got to make sure you got to be proactive as well.
I definitely disagree here because, again, they've got a scaling composition for the side of Todak itself. So, again, if they are fighting, their objective is to, hey, even if we get 1 or 2 kills, we're going to stop you from farming as much as possible.
Yeah, that's fair enough because, you know, once that person hits late game, it's going to be pretty well dangerous for them to actually do anything at all. And we talk about bans here. Esmeralda will be banned away, so there's no point of possibly getting that through. Chang'e has been constantly being banned out by Todak, and they respect what Bambi and the rest of them could possibly pull out with that sort of pickup. But now, 1 more ban for Todak here. They've already got that Valier out, so perhaps they might consider taking out something like a Kimmy or even a Grok in that sort of a sense.
Yeah, because if they don't ban the Grok, it's definitely, I mean, most probably going to go to the side of Evos.
Yeah, and I think Todak, it's tough because when you get ban out Esmeralda as well as the Valier, then you're just like, all right, you're gonna be losing out a lot of combinations here. Kaja is wide open, and Todak realized that, so they get rid, instead of Grok, they get rid of the Kufra. So it's now like, hey, maybe you want to pick up Cho, maybe you want to pick up Grok, but we're gonna get the better hand. We're gonna get the better hand at the end of the day.
Yeah, whoever you pick, we have other 2 choices.
Yeah,
and honestly, with Todak, they have no problem picking any of them.
But what's the better choice for Evos right here? Was it gonna be the Grok or was it gonna be the Kai? I feel like Kai would be great, but instead they go in for a first pick Harem.
What?
And I feel there's something up on his sleeves.
They're betting that Todak, they're making a bet here. Now Todak have 2 options. They pick up the Grok for themselves, or they don't pick up the Grok and they flex Cho. It's good, however, Evos will have a much better hand if Todak decides to pick up the Cho and Kaja. No, Todak don't want to give up the Cho or the Kaja. They lock in Cho as well as the Grok. Now Evos will have a decent hand compared to an amazing hand.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand, why would you first pick Harith? It's not like the best hero at the moment.
It's not the best, but they can make do with what they have, and I'm pretty sure that there's still something that we want, and that's going to be the actual slipping through the bans as well, which we did not really mention. And I definitely would prefer having Kaja for a lockdown. And remember, there's still the archive. They still want to go for that tank, but then again, I feel like this is solid enough for Evos to play around with.
Absolutely.
Mincetar,
Your team is
it's coming back. It's coming back, and I think it's really, really good. Personally, I kind of wish that Todak kind of gave away the Cho and locked in the Kaja for themselves just so they could play Mincetar and lock both of them up.
Yeah, and we know him, of course, pulling out some great Kings calling in between those fights as well to lock down so all these members who commit in towards the fight. So I'm really looking forward to what they have to
go in
for the final 2 picks for Todak. Now, pretty good ban out discussion. They respected what Moon has to offer in the previous fight. And now, when we talk about the Akai, and instantly they just locked it in and not having to see them getting that sort of pick.
I think for Todak here, they're probably looking to lock in their mages as of right now. I mean, Lunox is looking pretty good here.
Lunox.
Yep. Lunox. All right. Now, Evos, on the other hand, the real question, do they want to pick up Kimmy? Do they want to pick up sorry, they don't want to pick up the Kimmy, but do they want to pick up the Granger?
I feel like Granger will be great because it's too good to pass, and she could still have the option on the table if they're not going to do it right now, they're just going to be having that on the opponent's hand.
That's also true. I feel like Todak could also pick up Kimi for themselves, but locking in the mage was more important just to tell Evos like, hey, you don't know what we're going to pick just yet. Maybe you want to pick up the Kimi, which really doesn't complement your team composition already.
Yep, and like what I did mention
your team
just
is
early
picking.
on, they already spotted Kimi in the first game, and now Granger on Potato.
Hayabusa.
Massive walkway with the MVP, and this will be the first Hayabusa that we're seeing here in the Grand Finals.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough one, but let's get into these games.
Girls with their nails done. I like girls with their nails done. Girls with their
Welcome back, everybody. Evos Esports SG on the blue side, Todak on the red side. Game 2 with Todak 1 game ahead. Will Evos make a statement right here telling Todak, hey, you can't count us out just yet?
That's right, and they need to break the curse.
Aggressive teams here.
That's right, and first, let's get the show underway as we'll see Game 2 here. First, talk about the M1 promo codes. Go ahead and snatch up, and looking at Ninas here, he's gonna go for a little bit of knockback here. He's gonna fall back for a little bit, giving this proxy away to Evos Esports.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Todak don't really want to respond to this, mainly because like, oh, hey, yeah, once that gauge meter builds up for Seoul, it's going to be really, really difficult here. The early game 4 against 3 now, this buff steal is going to be so important. Who's going to get it? 5-6 already, Potato's in trouble. He goes down. They're trying to shut down the Hayabusa as soon as possible. Potato takes a little bit of damage, and the buff is stolen away. Everything went into the favor of Evos Esports.
That's definitely a great deal of cards, but Ewa wants to trade back. They say that, hey, you might have that in his hand, and here comes actually forcing the flicker away coming from JPL. Really risky moves, but hey, definitely got a little bit of advantage perhaps, and look at all these spells. Only JPL has the flicker.
Yep, he wants to make a play. The Purify is just a really effective spell, considering that Mincetar isn't going to let them have a fun time later on into the game. And more importantly, JPL, really good preemptive flicker. He understands because of the Grok buffs, he would have been chunked out, putting him at lethal range for the likes of Moon.
Oh yeah, and they don't really want to give that sort of leeway to the members of Todak here. And what I really like looking at those sort of compensation that they brought up. There's a little bit of that mobility in the kid, and of course, we talked a little bit about Revitalize on how useful that you can be in some of these T5s, and Halos is currently carrying it.
Turtle resurrecting
yeah, and they're doing
soon.
a good job here. Now, I want to point out that the emblems for X-Ray are assassin emblems, so he's going to be a fighter Cho. They're going to have some really strong split push. It looks like they're actually going to play a 1-3-1.
Oh yeah, and I would say that you cannot underestimate the sort of burst that can come out of that Cho. And speaking of that, Evos here, they're already still thoughting out these members, trying to take down that very first turtle of the game. Here comes the first, and oh my goodness, he will be able to snatch that away with that flicker attack, and Ewan get caught up in that slaughterhouse.
Some great play coming in from Evos Esports. Oh wait, Chico, he's gonna go all right on top of Potato. Potato takes quite a bit of damage from Quad, but he gets locked up by the Divine Judgment. 2 kills for a turtle, going over to Evos Esports.
Now we're seeing 3-0, but Ninas here, they're slowly losing the plot as we speak, and I felt like that was a little bit way too messy from Todak's side. Like, they didn't really expect that sort of a snatch coming from the back as well, but my oh my. They really got to look out for each other, and they need to send somebody to wrap things around so that these sort of dives won't happen ever again.
I think they kind of underestimated how, oh, Moon takes quite a bit of damage. I definitely think Todak underestimated how much damage they could put into the turtle. They thought they could clear up a lot quicker before the rotations. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and they get punished for it. Hopefully, this next upcoming turtle, they're a little bit more careful with it.
Oh yeah, of course, there's still chances for them, and for the time being, we're looking at Evos here, near towards a 3K deficit, 2.5 to be exact, and I would say that Evos Esports here, they need to make good use of that sort of momentum that they have in this early phase of the game, and they already halted E1 from, you know, becoming that monstrous tank coming on the table. And oh my, that's massive.
Unfortunate retribution there, but right now X-Ray takes a little bit of damage, but he breaks the fire armor, setting up for a great dive coming in. Moon locks him up. Wow, E1, that was a nasty Guardian's barrier.
Oh yeah, pretty smooth one at that too. And look at Todak. They're looking to actually secure their first tower, but there's still Odir Bappy already popping out Zavin's forcing to actually clear this wave up. When we're about side though.
Oh, you know, he's gonna put a lot of the Rhapsody comes through. Ace, oh, he gets pulled backwards. It's fine. Ace is able to sustain all that damage coming in. While on the top side, Moon trying to make something happen. Soul gets hit back with the Waiting Dragon, but they already pick up 2 kills for the side of Todak with nothing. For the side of Todak without any retaliation coming in from Evos.
Wow, such smooth works and mechanics being displayed from both the top and bottom laners. And now, look at Evos. We're going to see a little bit of that replay coming from Black Shark and that way of the Dragon there to secure that kill. Of course, now back into the action because we have our second turtle up and coming.
Yeah, and now this is going to be really quick turtle for Todak. They pulled it away. They got the 2 kills and they're like, your death timers are too long. You're not going to have enough members. I'm going to take this easy peasy. Now the question is, where can Todak kind of really punish Evos Esportes here?
Interesting movements coming in from Todak, but look at that though.
Nah, the sidesteps predicted everything. Potato couldn't even land a single. That's Sonata.
Yeah, this is why they went in for that Hayabusa pickup there, so that he could easily just sidestep all that. And of course, Chiku here, he's known to also play a couple of great assassins, and he's going to look in towards split pushing towards the later phase of the game. It's still way too early to tell because they haven't really gotten all too much from the bottom lane. Oh, look at that.
King's Colin already popped out. Odir Bambi uses 7 for some preemptively chrono dashes out of there. However, they're going to immediately go on a dive. Wow, that conversion. They take a turret as well. That was so quick.
Of course, that's like a buy one, free one attempt coming from Evos Esportes. They understood.
Oh no, oh no. They're walking into it. They're dead. They're completely locked up. E1, he gets a huge kick onto the damage dealers. And now they're pulling into the back. Bambi quickly dodging it out of the pull. They're trying to turn this around. And they do. The last insanity is enough. And there we have it. X4 completely annihilating the back line.
Wow, that was pretty much beautiful. We look at Ekberg with that last insanity, popping them all up. Let's have a little instant replay here. Great kick in towards that Kaya. And this is where Todak tries to actually finish off members of Evos, but they did not see Soul coming in from the back, and that annihilated the rest of Todak with that sort of flank coming in from the mid lane.
And more importantly, they use so many resources, and this is causing them to have I mean, it's a slight goal difference altogether, but it's not enough. Another kill going over to Chiku here. He's making sure he is utilizing the Hayabusa very well.
Yeah, and that OG Cat the Shadow Kill definitely dished out a chunk loads of damage. Now, DPL all by himself. Of course, you don't really want to actually use the Divine Judgment onto E1, but now Bambi trying to focus on him with the Zaman Force as well, going in for the chase, but the rest of Todak is coming by as well. So that pulls them up of that turtle, while Evos Esports could slowly set it up as well. But over the bottom lane, we're still seeing a little bit of back and forth. Blade of Despair as well as the Tina Shield has been bought by Todak side.
That's going to be a pretty big buy. Calamity Reaper has already been finished by the side of Oh Dear Bambi. A lot of Bloodlust access as well, but this game, it's going to be slow and steady. But right now, Hayabusa, he really needs his items.
Oh yeah, look at Hayabusa here, of course. That's going to be pretty much a late game of 30 for them, but look at Daze. And he's just slowly playing this one out, just guarding off that turtle, and now they managed to secure that mid lane tower for Evos SG.
The rest of the team slowly playing. They're playing this out very, very slowly. It's a lot more methodical here. Evos already knew they had a 3K goal lead. They kind of whiffed it a little bit, and now they're trying to like claw back and maintain this 2K lead that they've developed.
Yeah, and we of course talked about this before because they really got to be really careful. Both sides don't really want to make mistakes from this point onwards, or else we'll lose out pretty much instantly in that sort of sense. But look at Bambi here. A little bit of overextension, trying to spot out members of Todak, but Dinas here already guarding that section here. So that turtle is going to turn into a Lord, but the rest of the members of Todak are focusing down on the bottom side.
Yeah, Moon is kind of interchanging between the two, making sure he has enough charge. X-Ray is going to get a good kick back into the lane, but they're going to go for the dive, break the perimeter armor. Wow, my goodness, that was well planned for the side of Todak. They allowed Cho to chunk out that Firaga armor, and then they sent Chiku in with an okay shadow kill. No minions to protect him, lands every single hit.
That's a perfect setup. Like, 2 ults is all it takes to get that 1 kill up. And what can the X-Ball do? And for Todak, they not only get the kill, they get 2 turrets in a row. While Evos Esports, they're already at the first ward of this match. But instead, Todak goes in response. They won the game instead!
Oh, they're trying to go for it, but the rest of the team is kind of pulling backwards. Mincetar is locking up.
Initiate
finally
retreat.
there. Oh my goodness, that was some good timing. If they had a little bit more, they would have lost it there. But now, oh dear Bambi, he's not going to let Nunas get away with this. He's locking it up for so long, but JPL is taking so much damage. He locks him up, pulls it back in that. Jiku has been dragged in, baited by JPL. He pats himself on the back. He should be proud of that one.
I'm proud of him too with that amazing flicker, and he debated him just like that. And I, of course, would like to highlight once again that crazy push attack coming in from Todak right on the bottom lane. Of course, they knew that they were already at the Lord, so they made full good use of that. And there was no arrivals. There's nothing much that they could possibly do. And now we're seeing a little bit of that hustle inside the jungle here as Bambi tries to snatch the buff away.
Yeah, they also got really unlucky because the minion wave just spawned and they just finished Lord. So the Lord ended up spawning a lot sooner than it should have. Firaga armor already being broke by the side of Soul. Tries to get a good pull. Oh wait, no, Firaga armor is just a little bit there, but he flickers forward. X-Ray wants to get the kill. 3 hits to Kundal. 1 more with a shut call. The passive is enough to auto attack him to death. Soul goes down.
A solo kill in the grand finals. If that's not a flex, it's not really the grand finals, is that? And of course, now we're looking at the side of Todak already finishing off that Lord, clearing it up. So Evos Esports, they didn't really get that sort of advantage. And with that, even though Evos Esports does have the goal favoring them for the time being, it doesn't mean all too much at this point.
Yeah, I definitely agree here. Both teams are playing really equally as of right now, and Evos Esports, that was their one opportunity to maybe get an inhibitor back, and they find the catch.
Oh my goodness me, look at him go, being stuck in between, and the rest of the comes marching through for the adopted pop as well. X-Ray going in with the weight of the dragon, over the back, he was getting stopped down as well. Now it's up to Moon to actually go in and rush up, but it will be that killing spree and the hands of oh dear Bambi.
That was looking really, really good here. And Chiku, they were trying to force out a fight so that Chiku may potentially get a good push down on the bottom side of the map. And I think it was really well played. You have to kind of give it a Nunas there, buying the Winter Trundle just to make that play.
Whoa, yep, and I figured that we're having a little bit more of that hustle up in the top side with the order of drill. Big pump, and here comes the Granger looking for more. As Moon tries to dash away. Oh, dear Bambi going at the
Mega kill!
and the 1-for-1, and the mega kill for Bambi.
Oh my goodness. So far, this has just been a tough game overall. And what used to be one of the greatest picks of all time, Lunox has one of the lowest, which is second lowest of any hero pick, 27% in the playoffs.
Well, of course, that infographic is pretty much useful for us because we know how many nerfs have Lunox been hit with. Like, at least 3 patches to say the least, and now they're bringing it up. But I would say, those with that very low win rate, it doesn't mean that you cannot win at all with that. Let's have a little bit of that replay up onto the top side. And look at how Bambi went on for the chase.
Oh yeah, Bambi knew it's like, okay, he's gonna be A-okay, he shouldn't die here. All of a sudden, the quad shadow comes off of cooldown instantly.
Is also a good motivation. Now we are back into the game, gentlemen.
Yep, that's right. Of course, I would say having silverware is not enough. You want some goldenware.
Oh yeah. Fair enough. I'll give you that one. Now Todak keeping control of the game as much as possible. They are down by 3K.
Resurrecting soon.
We've seen this exact same position in game 1. Todak a little bit behind. Evos, they get caught out once, or a bad team fight, or they get jebaited. Can they learn from their mistakes? Can they end this game and tell Todak, hey, we're not messing around here no more?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure none of them are messing around, and this means serious business. Even Todak, they made a couple of all those sort of errors, and they fix it in the next fight, usually. But now, let's have a look at some of these item builds for that crowd right there. Athena, Shield, Immortality. So this means that they should not even have their eyes focused on E1 if they were to ever go into the stat battle.
Yeah, I mean, E1 does a decent amount of chunking damage, but again, their main targets are going to be those carries. Moon, that brilliance, he has to hold it up for that crucial moment.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, Lunox right there is one of those sort of key picks that you would possibly try to bait these enemies to come right in to once try to pop that brilliance, and once they pop the brilliance, there's just no more escaping unless they do have the flicker. But in this sense here, we're looking at a lot more defense mechanism coming in from the side of Todak in case if they were to slip up a little bit, they could still fall back to that safety net.
I definitely agree here, but I think it's going to be a tough match no matter what. Todak's Chifu, that Hayabusa basically can one-shot Potato, and Potato has to be so careful of it. Had he been playing something else that where it sticks closer to the team, it doesn't have to be so far away from them when they go for these engages. Giving Hayabusa that angle, it might have been different. So he always has to keep in mind, like, where is Chiku? Can he quad shadow into me? Can he close that gap?
That's right. Always leaving questions in the hands of Evos Esports. But then again, Chiku has been picked off 4 times. It's not enough. Speaking of a pickup, that will be Chiku out. And we were just talking about it.
Wait, they have another split pusher here, but the fight is going to continue for now. Todak's in trouble, forces out the flicker. Great Guardian's barrier again from Ione. Man, those walls are absolutely annoying.
Definitely something to be proud of. But here comes the Lord attack coming from the side of US Esports. Can E1 stop him on his track? He's going to go in for that bullseye, but that's going to be a little bit backdoor action coming for X-Ray as well. And here comes Evos trying to take the ball. They find their winning condition, and now what can they not do but to fall?
Double kill.
Man, even popping the winter trunks to hold it off. 2 people go down. A great defense coming from Evos Esports, especially since X-Ray was like, hey, I'm going to split push. I am so strong. Gets really close. But again, the immortality as well as the items bought by the export. He plays it well, holds his ground, keeps the team alive.
Wow. Now, look at this. Evos Esports, they were not only in deficit, but Todak made one error, but they tried to force something out of the bag, and they got caught red-handed for that. But I would say Evos here, they already got this sort of lord of being snatched away, and Todak, of course, get a little bit more time, especially in the mid lane.
Yeah, and it's okay for Evos Esports to kind of sacrifice their tier 2, mainly because Lord is just so much more of a priority. Now they have to go back, kind of clear off the Lord empowered minions, and you know, they're going to do their housekeeping before they look to get another catch or maybe force another fight out of Todak here. Remember, Potato is scaling so nicely. He's got all the items he needs to really hard carry this game.
Yeah, only a couple more items for full gold build for every single one of all of these players on the board. And I'm looking at Chiku once again. Can he possibly pull something out of that Hayabusa that he just picked? Oh dear Bambi, 6, 1, and 8. And he's already finished off all these core items. While we're just waiting for Kaya to get a little bit more buff here.
Oh, wow. Kaya bought a Thunder Belt. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, which is why I'm looking at it for the time being. But then again, it's working out so far.
I mean, he just got it. Let's see how effective it's going to be. Right now, Mincetar is making sure that Oh Dear Bambi doesn't get to really run around like how he wants. Oh, he's going to get spotted out here. Oh, yeah, they see them. They know. They're going to go for a full fight. The King's Calling is full. The full coming in from Oh Dear Bambi. He's going to dance around outside the King's Calling. And they get the first kill as well as a mega kill. As Potato, he's just so huge, knocking them out 1 by 1.
Oh, Potato really using the depth now really well, and they thought they would go unnoticed, but Evos can smell this vicious right across. Of course, no pun intended.
Todak fans be like, what'd you say?
Oh well, what I'm saying here is that we're going to see a little bit more of that 1v1 coming from the top side while Evos Esports forcing a little bit of the flank, waiting for the wall to come down, and they will try to crash right in. E1 knocking into the wall as well, and now they're going to break in towards the mid side. Arrival being channeled in towards the mid lane here as Evos regroups, but instead they got that one cancelled out.
That was really, really nice coming in. 2 pickoffs for the side of Evos Esports. Netted them an inhibitor turret. This is going to be a slow, grindy game. And so far, it's been great. So 18 minutes. Chiku just got his Blade of Despair. They're coming towards their final. Everyone should have their final build at this point. The tanks are going to catch up eventually, but the most important part here for Evos Esports, who can they catch? Can they get the bigger targets?
Yeah, I feel like for them to actually catch the bigger targets, they have to get past the Grok and Mincetar first before anything else. And all these sort of front lines are so beefy right now with those immortalities left intact. You can see that they don't want any of that sort of action. So it's getting stunned by the wall. All these fight will be beneficial for them. But Chao over in the back, will he go in for the play? And speaking of play, we are Dragon over on the 8. We'll charge into the back as well. And there comes the rest of the family. And this will be a little bit of slaughter. But how's it go back away? Here comes the knock coming from the X-ray as well. And so tries to fall back. The rest of Evos Esports, they know they have to retreat.
Oh dear, baby. He's coming in. He's coming in. There he is. He's trying to make this happen. The Chrono Deck is already popped. He pops the Salmon Force, and he's already on top of them. He's killing them one by one, but Chiku ain't gonna let him sit by himself. The last insanity finally gets the reset, breaks the Viagra armor, instantly killing off the Mincetar, who is out of position. He has to pull backwards. He gets cut down as well. A double kill, 2 for 2 after an amazingly long engage.
Bambi turned this fight around, and they got every single advantage intact. But after that team fight, they did not really creep out too much. It just to stop Todak right now.
I mean,
yeah,
it's a 2 for 3 so far, and though it looked really, really good for Evos, they don't have enough people to safely secure the Lord for themselves. If they do the Lord right now, and Chiku kind of sticks his nose out a little too far, he could potentially look for a kill. The only deterrent as of right now is that the waves are not in their favor.
That's right, and this is by far the longest game of the playoffs. We're breaking the 20-minute mark already, and it seems to me it's pretty much a stalemate for the time being. But there is that Lord. That Lord's going to make that huge difference. Whoever snatched that one away, I would say, might just walk away with that victory.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong here. Somebody needs to be the hero of their team. Someone needs to make a big play. Potato right now is gigantic. 2.3K off of crits. That is insane.
Yeah, I would say anyone getting hit by that critical damage, they just gotta run. They cannot even afford to stay in the front line. I don't care if it's E1 or even X-Ray. If you are a frontliner and if you're taking too much before you even do all these sort of what the tank could possibly pull out with those hard engages, then I would say it's a waste of space.
Yeah, now both sides, they're kind of managing the waves really well. Top side is getting pushed in here. X-Ray has a great push going. The real question is, can Soul hold off with this exploit? Wait, something's happening towards the Lord side. Let's have a look at what's going on over there. The King's Kong has already been pushed. JPL is caught out. He's going to go down. He can't really get out of this. The Quad Shadow has already been used as well as the OK Shadow kill. Potato trying to disengage the entire fight with the Destinata. Oh dear, Babby, he's walking up the Salmon Force. Has already been popped. The Nazi's in trouble. Glorious
top lane.
Oh my goodness! You gotta stop it, Ione. The Guardian's Barrier slows down the assault. Both disengage. Ione takes a full Rhapsody to the face, but he can take it. He's the tank for the team.
Yeah, and arrival in time towards the top side here. It's gonna be sold out members just pushing it all the way back. Oh no! Oh my goodness, it will be taken up, and Harlan is down for the count. X-Ray getting chased in by O'Near Babby, with the Salmon Force being used, and he still survives. How on earth did he survive that? But Soul still going for the chase, looking for the Hayabusa. Hayabusa still has immortality. There's no point chasing onto Chiku, because that is a little bit of that wasted effort, and now this might be call time for the Lord.
Oh my gosh, they're one member down for the side of Evos Esports, and their big ticket ultimates have already been used. The real question, can Todak safely secure this Lord? Both sides know exactly what each other want. I'm just so surprised that Evos Esports wasn't able to pick up more kills from the side of Todak.
They could have done so, but look at Chao sliding away. Jitkudu and Shunpo just getting himself into its safety, and even now, Todak, they know they have that one-man advantage, but they do not dare to even touch the Lord for now.
Yeah, it's just too much of a risk, especially since their big ticket ultimates. Chiku doesn't have the OK Shadow kill. Moon just got his ultimate back up. Now they have to play this really carefully here.
No, this is definitely getting a little bit intense as we look at one more member getting caught out. Evos Esports will likely let him slide off, but that was causing him a little bit of trouble here. Of course, that Phantom Steed's not going to be able to do all too much. Well, I got it confused. It's actually a Hylas with the right pathway.
Yep, and they're trying to make things and make ends meet for the side of Evos Esports. They're going to be taking away the wave. They're playing it slow. E1 can take the damage. He doesn't care, but again, Lord is getting super dangerously low. They're looking for an angle to go in. They get an initial catch on the backline. Potato quickly Ron goes out of there. The fight has already begun. E1 trying to put it on himself, but they need to take Lord. Someone needs to make a decision. Do they fight or do they take Lord? The King's Lord is on top. JPL gets the Lord. They get knocked up. They can turn this around. Evos Esports is pulling it on forward. They're pulling back. His Todak can't take the damage from the Firestone, yanking them back in. JPL gets the Divine Judgment. Moon is going down. The Lightning Trumpet is starting to put. He holds himself still, but again, no members of Evos Esports goes down. The arrival! The arrival!
But there's the Lord that he needs to take down. He cannot stop this push, and it will be members of Evos trying to go for that base race as well. What can they do? And Evos is trying to equalize. There's the Nuts coming in and kicking it back as well. Knocking back up in the air. Way up from Dragon. Stop Evos! And now the split push has already been stopped. And Potato is trying to crack open those immortalities, doing a lot of damage to X-Ray. They've got one pump, and here comes the Lord!
They need to end it. Lord is already here. Glorious Righteous Pathway has been dropped. They need to destroy that freaking core here. Nanas is holding his one. Nobody is able to protect them now. Evos Esports finally take a game off of Toda. Look at Potato. He is hyped.
Oh, well, I would say I'm hyped as well, because now we're seeing both sides calling it a truce and equalizing this match 1 each.
Oh my goodness, 20-minute game, and that's the quality we get. This is honestly one of the best finals we've had so far. Both teams so equally matched against each other.
You know what I would say? I would say that I'm happy because we got 2 more games.
2 more games?
2 more games confirmed.
You sure? I mean, it sounds like it's going to all the way to game 5, considering how the back and